Watanabe Arcade Anima, Path of Remembrance. 3 years after the Great Evacuation. 3 years since Watanabe left Babylonia and wandered on the surface. Traveling across the globe, joining different camps, meeting survivors. The past few years have not been any quieter for him than the ones he spent fighting corrupted. Before he realizes it, he has gathered quite a group of companions during this turbulent time. Soldiers that Babylonia could not take in, displaced people struggling in temporary shelters, collaborators when camps combined, folks abandoned by other Earth-based organizations. And, most recently, the refugees who have roamed the surface for quite some time. Boss. Throwing the small bag of spice back to his companion, Watanabe takes off his gloves and dusts off his hands, praying that the large pot of boiling stew before him is enough to sustain the camp for just a little longer. The soldier grabs the small bag and crudely stuffs it inside the gunny sack on his back. Ingredients and spices rustle upon his push. Shoo, stop staring. There will be enough food for y'all. Stuffing the gunny sack, the soldier waves away the refugees waiting outside the food truck and staring at the food. They hunch a little bit away from the window, but they clearly have no intention to leave. The mood in the camp has been tense since food was stolen for the 3rd time in a month. The soldiers managing the camp are quite nervous, faced with the challenges of distributing food and earning the people's trust. The food truck is not guarded to make resource access easier for non-military personnel, but soldiers on their breaks all hang around the food supply, keeping an eye out for thieves among the people or themselves. The constant anxiety has waned everyone's spirit, and they are starving before they realize it. Even when the soldier tries to cover his growling stomach with his cough, it does not escape Watanabe's ears. Just hold on a little longer. Lunch is almost ready. Something to eat for once. We gave so much to that Humanity Corp and got so little food in return. We would have all starved if it weren't for the foraging team punching above their weight. Enjoy your lunch then, since we still have to negotiate a partnership with that camp. Suma has been gone for a few hours already, so the negotiation can't be going well. As expected, they have plenty of supplies at their disposal, so they won't collaborate with us that easily. Just trust that our diplomat will do her best. We still have a backup plan if the talk fails. It'll be a battle we have to prepare for later. The battle is why we must keep you well fed. The batch of MRE we got recently should give you enough energy to fight. This MRE ration made by Easton Group used to get a lot of complaints for their quality, but years of fermentation have made them quite nutritious and more suitable for prolonged combat. Combat. It's fine fighting that corrupted Colossus, but fighting those people? Stop sounding so defeated. There's never an easy battle. We all have our missions and objectives. Let's eat first. Boss, get it going. Alright, almost there. We're still an ingredient short, but we don't have time for that right now. We'll have to... Are you missing this? A small hand reaches out and opens before Watanabe, revealing a strange-looking herb. That's right, Dahurian Angelica. Thanks. It's a nutritious and beneficial herb rarely found in the desert. Where did you find this? I was just walking around. Watanabe looks at the unkept child in damaged gear before him. He saw many similar children when he roamed the surface, but he has never seen such an impassive boy with an indifferent gaze only found in adults. He glances to the right, and Leon, who is guarding the supply, catches his hint and quickly takes stock of the inventory. Leon gestures that everything is in order afterward, ruling the boy out as a suspect for theft. Alright, I suppose you're one of the lucky ones in this desert. Thanks for finding it. Have you just joined the camp? Can you tell me your name? You ask 2 questions. I don't like being asked 2 questions at the same time. Warren, how can you talk to the boss like that? A panicking woman enters the food truck without waiting for the young boy to answer. Why did you come to the food truck? I told you only soldiers can enter this place. I gave you the Dahurian Angelica. Remember to use it. The boy glances at the woman before leaving by himself without looking back. The woman chases after him for a little bit, but quickly stops and pants, prompting Watanabe to walk up and help her. My apologies, boss. My son just got here and he still doesn't know his manners. Don't mind the kid. He's always too energetic to stay put. That's alright. The kid is just unfamiliar with the new environment. It'll get better once he gets used to the place. Watanabe peeks at the crowd outside as he says that. A wave of desperate eyes returns his gaze while watching each other with slight caution and hostility. I've forgotten how many camps we've been to. I hope ours will keep you for a little bit longer. Briefly wrapping up the conversation, Watanabe focuses back on his stew while still talking to the woman. So, how are you getting used to our camp? Getting used to a place is a luxury. I'm not my husband. It's good enough that Warren and I have a place to stay. I have to thank you for that, boss. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. We're not a shelter. We're just a group of people gathering for a common purpose. We're all contributing to the fight to achieve that goal. Especially you, Teresa. You must look after yourself. Our future depends on scientists like you and your research. You're too kind. Stop with the formality. This isn't a Babylonia shelter, and I'm no longer an officer from the Great Evacuation. There's no rank between us anymore. Old habits. Just old habits. A sharp pain in her abdomen sends her reeling. Watanabe dashes forward to support her. Is the stomach ulcer back? We've got some medics at the camp currently. Ask them for a prescription first. I'll save you your meal for later. It's alright. It's alright. This is nothing new. I just need to tough it out. I'd hate to bother you, boss. Perhaps we can't guarantee a full belly for everyone right now, but I hope we can keep most of you healthy. Of course. You're right, boss. I'll go see a doctor. Teresa nods a few times, avoiding Watanabe's gaze and turning to where her son went. I really should go and look for my son now. He's never up to any good. I have to keep him from causing trouble. My apologies, boss. I'll see you around. Seeing Teresa trotting away, Watanabe immediately steps forward. Andy blocks the entrance to the food truck with a hand, stopping a refugee who is attempting to barge in. What the hell? The kid and his mom just went in there, didn't they? Why can't I take a peek as well? You can look as much as you want, but you might miss what we're distributing later. Leon, Pietro, let's take the things outside. Yes, boss. The two squatting soldiers get up immediately, carrying the boiling pot outside the food truck where another large pot of steaming rice awaits. The pot lands on the metal rack with a dull thud. The resting soldiers scattered within the food truck pick up their weapons and stand by around the car, leaving only a few of them guarding the supply. Watanabe stands next to the metal rack and takes a deep breath. He has done this many times, but what he is about to do still stresses him out. Alright, food's ready. The ladle hits the metal pot and the clinking sound reverberates. The dozens of people surrounding the food truck gather around instantly before being pushed back by the soldiers. We've got enough for everyone. Line up, don't push. We're distributing ration. The third company will be passing out your fixed portion of main dish, and I'll give you your sides and extra supplies. Take your food and eat at the designated canteen. No jumping the queue. Got it. Get started already. The people being pushed back moaned with irritation. Watanabe sighs with relief silently, feeling grateful that at least the people still have the strength to talk and complain. Not only are trained soldiers gathered here, but many starving civilians. Every single grain of rice they give out here is being eyed by dozens of hungry people. Watanabe would have been more relaxed if there was not just an influx of newcomers. The slightest mishap will shatter the order he and the soldiers have carefully maintained, in which case they must prepare for violence. Luckily, the people in this camp are yet to fight over food, as far as you can tell. Now, one by one. The dispersed scavengers grab their dirty containers and form a long, crooked line upon Watanabe's order. The first scavenger in the line takes a portion of the stew before turning to Watanabe. Carefully, he places his container before Watanabe, his gaze attentive, as if worrying that Watanabe will take it away. Here's yours. I've removed the seeds for you. If you still get an allergic reaction afterward, go find a doctor, okay? There's no need to act tough. Next, Watanabe pours the steaming sides into the bowl. The scavenger stands there, stunned for a few seconds. How do you know I'm allergic to it? It's getting better, right? Don't worry too much about it. The doctor said it would take you a while to get used to eating this kind of thing. How did you... Your leader talked to me when our camps joined. I remember the dietary habits of every one of you. Do you have other allergies? Better to register it with the doctors then. It'd be too late otherwise, wouldn't it? We still need you for the fight ahead, so don't wear yourself out. I'm fine. Seriously? We're barely fed. Read the room. Looking away, the scavenger mumbles as he leaves with his meal. Behind him is a little girl. Come on, here's yours. If you still don't like the food today, find the old man at the foraging team on the east side and ask for some spices, alright? I will. Thank you, Pops. Call me Watanabe. Thanks, Watanabe. That's right. May I have a little bit more, Watanabe? I'm so hungry. I barely ate yesterday. The girl holds up her bowl with tears in her eyes as if a drop of tear can magically multiply the food inside. You'll have to ask the good folks waiting behind you. Are they willing to share their rations with you? I seem to remember that this is the third time you've said something similar this week. Remember, you can only fool those who trust you. Right now, the number of people that trust you... What a prick. Keep your food and save your lecture. The girl frowns and interrupts Watanabe's speech. Sticking her tongue out, she makes a face at him before leaving the queue. Remember to go to the foraging team on the east side and ask for some spices. See if they have a job for you. You can get some extra supplies this way. Watanabe shouts at the girl and waves. Alright, next. Remember to take care of your body. That's all. I will. Watanabe breathes a sigh of relief, watching the last scavenger leave with his bowl. Nothing has gone wrong. The armed soldiers are still threatening enough to keep everyone in check. The civilians have received their food. It's now the soldiers' turn. Troop, fall in. The soldiers guarding the perimeter quickly put away their weapons and stand in formation upon hearing Watanabe's command. We'll be distributing lunch now. Step to the front one by one. The young soldier standing in the front follows Watanabe's order and walks up timidly to receive his rations. Here, Zachary. This is yours. Watanabe takes out a small pack of liquid after passing Zachary his bowl. And this IV solution is for your brother. No, thank you, boss. Taking the solution, Zachary hunches and laughs. Watanabe's hands sandwich Zachary's cheeks, forcefully relaxing his stiff smile. We talked about this. Don't smile like that. This won't buy you any favor. You'll only be drawing the attention of bullies who would have otherwise looked away. And you don't have to butter up anyone here anymore. Alright. Understood. Watanabe lets go, and it dawns on Zachary that he should stand tall and hold his head high. That's more like it. Don't forget that this isn't charity. You've earned the extra supply for your brother. Thank you, boss. I'll remember that. Watanabe waves him away resignedly. Next. Alright, that's the last one. I'll take care of the rest. Yes, boss. Watanabe puts his hands down as the ladle clatters in the pot. The soldiers who have been in charge of passing out the food carry their bowls and walk away. The remaining food should be enough for those who weren't here. He then turns toward a shadowed area. You first, Suma. How long are you planning to stand there? Huh. You saw me? A woman in military uniform walks out of the food truck's shadow. Watanabe fills a bowl with stew and pushes it before her. You were back when we were halfway through the queue. You didn't make a sound, but I could still spot you from here. Eat first, we'll talk later. I should report first. The negotiation... Eat. You haven't eaten in 12 hours, and you haven't touched the rations you brought with you. We've talked about this. You're no construct. Everyone needs to take care of their body first with the resources we can procure. Fine. I'll eat and talk. Suma puts her hands up in defeat and sits opposite Watanabe. Grabbing the bowl, she takes a few bites before continuing to speak again. You guessed it, boss. The talk fell apart. I talked their ears off, and they still wouldn't believe that there's a giant mechanoid buried underneath their camp. They even threatened me and said they would stop our established trade if I continued to spread these demoralizing rumors. We lack resources, which they have plenty of. It's understandable that Humanity Corp doesn't trust us. Watanabe raises a hand as he says that. A hologram is projected from his forearm, showing a map of the desert. 2 large areas are circled, indicating the locations of the 2 camps. If we don't warn them in time, our most important trade partner will perish before we know it. Watanabe waves his hand and scrolls to another level underneath the dunes. There is nothing unusual beneath Watanabe's camp. Meanwhile, a large red spot is seen underneath the camp of the Humanity Corp. Their base is built on a giant machine. Things are going to be really bad if it gets infected and restarts. I would have preferred to take our time to establish a long-term relationship and take care of this hidden threat slowly, but time is running out. Watanabe spins the map around, revealing a few more red dots in the upper right corner. We've detected quite a number of corrupted roaming in the desert. They haven't discovered us yet, and they don't seem to have an objective, but given the trajectory of their path, they will be here in a few hours. That giant machine will definitely be infected then. Yeah, I've told them the exact thing, but they wouldn't believe me. With the amount of resources they have, asking them to retreat quickly is to ask them to abandon everything they own in the wild. This kind of trust can't be attained with just a few weeks of diplomacy. Although we're just doing simple trading right now, we have bigger plans for our partnership with them in the long run. This is the purpose of our operation later. Right. Watanabe closes the hologram and pats Suma on her shoulder. Alright, that's all for your report. That's only one thing left. Whatever you say, boss. Finish your meal. Fine. You win. Stop staring at me like that. Don't you have something else to do? Plenty. So you better finish your food quickly and let me move on to my next task. Alright, I hear you. Suma smiles wryly and grabs her bowl. I've said this before, you aren't just our best diplomat. You're also one heck of a demolitionist. Don't waste your gift. Sure, you don't have to keep repeating yourself. Take care of yourself. A fight is on the horizon. You'll regret not having a full belly then. A full belly. A joke like this will damn you to hell. Those refugees don't have to starve if we have enough food for full bellies. I've seen plenty of soldiers collecting greens to eat when they're on duty. Even you have to do the cooking yourself. They fall silent. The rustling sand in the wind seems to be covering the cries of hunger. They can almost hear the refugees scraping the bottom of their containers in the canteen, not sparing a single grain of rice. Look at the time. That's why I told you we should have kept the food. This is the problem we are about to solve. Dealing with the problem underneath their camp not only removes a hidden threat, but also gains us their trust. Sure, a partnership that only gets us supplies is just a short-term solution. Reaching out for Humanity Corp this time is me trying to fix our situation once and for all. I can't promise any results, and I won't, but we will do our best to keep everyone alive. Will you trust the people of this camp? What are you talking about? I've known you long enough. Of course I trust you. Relieved, Watanabe reveals a hint of appreciation and approval in his gaze before shaking his head. No, not me. Trust the people of the camp. Every single person we have gathered here. And that includes you, Suma, obviously. You are one of us, the people trying to survive, but also the people trying to achieve that goal. Maybe the people from Humanity Corp will be one of us too. Quite a visionary, aren't you? Suma shrugs and puts down her bowl. Okay, I'm done. Just tell me what my job is. We'll start moving soon. I'll introduce you to your partner shortly. The fight is happening in a few hours when the corrupted arrive here. This time, we won't be facing them directly. First, we'll guide them. to Humanity Corp. A few hours later, at the outskirt of Humanity Corp's camp, the barrel raises half an inch, aiming for the red light dozens of yards away. The shooter holds his breath, then fires. I hit it! Watching the corrupted in the distance fall down, the man pumps his fist quietly. Stop gawking! Pay attention to the next guy! A woman pushes the man's fist away. Seeing another extending barrel above his shoulder, the man immediately covers his ears and gives way to the woman with the sniper rifle. Go reload. This is the last wave. Don't screw up. You don't say. The man rolls to the side, quickly reloading with the woman as his cover. I'm in position. Fire away. As the woman empties her magazine, the man finishes reloading his gun. There is no need to aim carefully. They just need to empty their ammo in the right direction. Enough! Enough! That group of corrupted has stopped. Stop wasting the camp's supply. The man does not expect the back of his head to hurt before his ears do after the series of gunshots. The woman knocks on the back of his head, demanding the man release the trigger. Turning to look at where he fired, he finds a few fallen corrupted on the ground as the dust settles. We won. Yeah, we won. Get it out of your system. A group this size is run-of-the-mill in this camp. There are plenty of chances for you to celebrate in the future. Now, get salvaging. We need to inform the rest of the camp later. The woman gestures to the distance where Humanity Corp set up camp, the place the two are guarding. But instead of heading back, the two of them start walking toward where the corrupted fell. That is the temporary camp for guards like them, and their supplies are still there. The woman clears away the tent the corrupted destroyed before taking stock of the supplies and nodding. Not too bad. The sand didn't get everywhere. Food is still perfectly edible after we brushed the sand off. Ew, that's disgusting. That bread was rolling on the ground. How can you still eat it? Hand it over and I can... Get your hands off my stuff. Use your allowance if you want extra food. Do you think I didn't notice you picking up scraps to eat at that filthy place a few days ago? I know there are plenty of supplies in the camp, but someone who wastes a good roll of bread like this deserves to starve in my book. Tch. Denied and dismissed, the man packs his gun away and turns toward the camp, sulking and changing the subject. We're done clearing this area, right? Are there any more corrupted? I'm not detecting anything. Then let's head back once we're done cleaning up. I'm not receiving any call for help from the other guards, so everything should be sorted now. Yeah, all sorted. Here I thought we'd be facing a massive group of corrupted giving the commanders warning, but it was just a false alarm. Right? That Watanabe was such a drama queen with his nonsense about how dangerous it'd be if the corrupted crossed the border. Babylonia construct? More like babbling conman, I say. Say? What are you mumbling about? About? The woman's throat dries up. She turns toward where her companion is looking, where the camp should be. They should be able to see tents and hideous flags with phrases like "Humanity will win" on them from this outpost, and fruit drying racks beyond. But all of these structures have fallen. In their place is a colossus with an angular metallic body. The colossus moves slowly, raising its arm and striking the camp. A corrupted colossus. This is... She stops speaking. Suddenly she hears a familiar voice. Help! Help! A few muted shouts are followed by an avalanche of screams. The crumbling dunes slide toward them as the desperate cries reach them. Occasionally, a series of gunfire can be heard. From here, they can see shots being fired from the far edge of the fallen camp. The bullets hit the colossus like sand hitting stone, barely doing any damage. Did the enemies get past the other guards? We need to go back and help. How? What can you do? You're just going to get yourself killed. The woman grabs the man by his collar and throws him on the ground before he can pick up his weapon and go back. She can see the camp where her companions were residing being destroyed with a kick from the massive mechanoid. The resisting residents are launched into the air like sand before someone catches them. We're in position, evacuating targets. The corrupted Colossus is on the move. Rescue team, get the people out of here. Distraction team, lead the corrupted away. A tall figure appears on the dune behind the woman. With his back to the sun, he waves his hand and flaming projectiles launch behind him, landing on the Colossus. The fire has not damaged the Colossus, but it still catches its attention. It turns around, making its way toward the group. It takes a step forward. A second step. A third one. Run. We have to run. A large explosion from a sandpit stops the Colossus in its path. The figure on the dune bends and slides down the hill, pulling the man up and forcing him to stand. Don't panic. We're trying to dismantle the corrupted Colossus piece by piece. Do you see that flag? Go that way. Our people will meet you there. A few hours ago, at Watanabe's camp. Guiding the corrupted? Sounds desperate. I bet Leon and the rest came up with it, didn't they? They did propose it, but everyone in the camp agreed to it. Does that include me? Well, you know me best. I agree with their plan. Given what I saw there, who knows what will happen if we don't act it now? So, how do we do it? We've decided to blow it up. That giant mechanoid buried under the sand can get infected at any moment, but we're running out of time with how close the corrupted are. It might not be elegant, but it will solve the problem. It's faster to show them the danger than to convince them of one. We'll act when the corrupted Colossus activates. We can't give them enough time to pack, unfortunately. I'm just glad that their most important supplies aren't in that camp. And you're planning to infect the mechanoid? The IUSL construction mech isn't sand resistant, so it won't function even if it turns on. Without anything to dig it up while their camp sits directly on top of it, we can't dismantle it before it gets infected as we often do. It's just a threat now. The only plan we could come up with at the end was to infect it so it'd reveal itself and its weak points. Then we can dismantle it. Obviously, we can't let anyone at their camp get injured. That's the purpose of our whole operation. I've formed a rescue team to make sure people get out safely. And the key to tearing the mechanoid apart is your expertise. Explosives. Bombs, huh? My stuff packs a punch, but even the biggest bomb is not enough to knock a construction mech down in an instant. That is, unless we can target its weak points accurately. Today's your lucky day. We know exactly where the mechanoid's Achilles heel is. We have another expert with us. Hey, Zachary, come here for a second. Yes, boss. A young man responds to Watanabe awkwardly, walking over timidly with an armful of blueprints. You asked for me, boss? You haven't met each other yet. This is Zachary, a military machinist from Company 75. Zachary meets Suma. She is a demolitionist from Elite Force 24. Right. Hi, Suma, is it? I've heard boss talk about you. My name is Zachary. Zachary here is also the designer of the IUSL construction mech. The designer? Not a lot of people have the expertise to design a mechanoid like this. You should be on Babylonia? I know. But I didn't go there for reasons. That's not right. We've talked about this, boss. You said you wouldn't mention it, so... We need you and Suma to work together on the technical details of this operation. It's easier if you know each other's identity. And the cat's going to be out of the bag sooner or later. Do you have any idea how many people are talking about you in the camp? This is the perfect opportunity for you to tell them your worth. Right. I'll do my best. Why don't you start discussing the details of the plan with Suma then? Other units will find you to confirm their roles later. We need to draw it toward the mines before we can start wearing it down. I'm heading to confirm the route with the distraction team right now. I'll let you know their plan soon. Watanabe waves goodbye to the two of them and jogs toward the camp's armory. They soon hear a few different shouts from within, probably encouragement for the fight ahead. We've got the attention of the corrupted Colossus. Prepare to demolish its weak points. Following Zachary's command, the Colossus is once again covered in flame. That's okay. That's okay. It will work. I know what I'm doing. As the Colossus is drawn away by the fire, people slowly retreat along the path the soldiers carved out, laying low and clustering. Don't panic. Follow the instructions and keep going. Watch out for the remaining corrupted. All units, beginning Wave 3 of the rescue operation. Yes, boss. The corrupted's here. Those monsters have come to us, boss. They came earlier than expected. I knew we couldn't rely on the forecast from those nerds. Some people have yet to evacuate. What do we do, boss? We should leave too. No, the target is moving way too fast. The corrupted are going to hunt us down. We can't risk it. We hold off the corrupted right here. Everyone else, evacuate immediately. Got it. At your command. We will do anything you say. Boss, the corrupted are coming from other directions. This is Suma from the demolition team. The remote detonation device is ready. All the explosives in the camp are ready to be detonated. This is Suma from the demolition team. The amount of explosives have been confirmed. Awaiting orders. Hooray! Blow it up! Boss, the corrupted are coming from the north. I await your order, boss. Boss, the corrupted are coming from the east. Well done. The place has been vacated, boss. Copy. Everybody listen up. Keep your weapons and energy. I want everyone to start evacuation and merge with the main force. Hold on. What's this earthquake about? Boss, that thing has changed direction. It's coming. We can't let the corrupted Colossus catch up with the evacuating crew. I'll hold it off. Explosion after explosion threatens to deafen everyone on the field. Zachary has seen such explosions in the past. Old records show that people used to level abandoned buildings with explosives, but that is too inelegant for a mechanical engineer like him. The construction mech he designed would be able to safely demolish even the most robust high-rise. He never thought he would witness the demolishing of his own design. Neither was he sure if his mechanoid could be taken down by explosives. This is the rescue team reporting. All personnel have been evacuated from the camp. This is the distraction team. We can see the corrupted Colossus taking damage. Good work. Watanabe puts away his dagger and concludes their battle with encouragement on the radio. The target has sustained heavy damage and nearly stopped moving and attacking, but we haven't exhausted its battery yet. Close quarter attacks can be lethal to us. All units, retreat on my command. Hold on, boss! The target is moving away from our estimated route. It's moving toward its 2 o'clock direction, fast approaching the rescue route. Rescue team, report. This is the rescue team. We've finished evacuating the camp. We're making sure there's no one remaining. There is still one person left in the camp. Requesting support. Is there anyone near the rescue route? This is Suma from the demolition team. I'm near the route. I'm heading there to rescue. Suma, answer. The target is approaching your direction. What's your status? You don't have to warn me, Captain Obvious. There is a brief silence, followed by loud clashes through the radio that almost cover up Suma's desperate voice. This is Suma. I'm inside the attack range of the corrupted Colossus, and I'm impacted by the impact. Calling for Zachary from the engineering team. The target corrupted is deviating from its path. I need guidance. Zachary! Zachary! Do you hear me? We talked about what to do if this happens. Do it! Hello? Anyone? This is Suma. Zachary! Damn it! Is this radio getting interference? This is Watanabe. I hear you, Suma. Your radio's working. I've just arrived where Zachary is. We're dispatching reinforcement to draw the attention of the corrupted Colossus. And Zachary... Watanabe looks down. Holding the blueprint in his hands, Zachary stares at the Colossus in the distance, sweating. His hands are shaking, and his blueprint falls to the ground. What's wrong with him? This is a critical moment. Hey, hello? This is Suma calling for Zachary. Suma's furious shouts and coughs and the Colossus's heavy footsteps blend together in Zachary's earpiece, sounding less and less real. Hey, hello? Hey, hello? Stop daydreaming and start explaining the blueprint. The boss is still waiting for us to come up with a plan. After a brief daze, Zachary concentrates and collects himself. Suma has already laid out several blueprints on the floor. Yes, I'm here. We can start. How much do you know about the capability and mechanism of explosives? The boss has gone through some fundamentals with me, so I know the basics. Good. Take a look at my drafts, and I'll look at yours. Let's confirm how many bombs we'll need. Oh, alright. Sure. Blueprints of another trade are not easy to understand, but standardized plans share a similar lexicon. The two of them quickly find a way in and begin their reviews. But Zachary's attention soon turns away from the blueprint before him towards Suma. Hesitating briefly, Zachary finally speaks. I just want to say that I didn't go to Babylonia because there was someone who looked after you for a long time, and they weren't qualified to go to Babylonia despite you did, so you chose to stay on the surface. Am I right? Suma does not even turn to look at him. How did you know? People who could go to Babylonia but didn't were either deceived or had something they couldn't leave behind. Getting an IV solution from the boss means you have someone that requires chronic care. Given how mousy you are, I bet it was an elder brother or sister that kept you here. Right. You guessed it. It was my brother. He had been looking after me since I was a kid. Babylonia's policy was very strict. I was offered a ticket for my level of expertise, but it was for me and me only. Where could I possibly go by myself, right? But at least I could stay behind for him. He never abandoned me. He always shared the food he got with me. Until the day when my brother... When he got hurt and couldn't take care of you anymore? Yeah. It was a concussion. He was rescued in time, but there were complications. He can still walk around, but his mind... I assume so. Who doesn't have someone like that if they stayed after the Great Evacuation? So, you too? Worse than you. They're all gone now. My grandparents went first. Old people, you know? Pretty much screwed once the serum stopped coming. Then it was my younger sister. Slow runner she. Caught by the corrupted. And the rest... I don't know if they were lucky or not. All of them were crushed to their deaths at the same time. It was quick. Oh, right. You designed that mechanoid. That IUSL construction mech. Oh. Is that so? Zachary pretends not to hear Suma and fiddles with the map in his hands while facing away. Unscrolling the map on the ground, he sees one of the corners rolling back and grabs some sand and rock to weigh it down, only for another corner to roll up. What are you doing? What's the point of fighting with the map? Zachary keeps repeating this action for a few minutes. It's nothing. I just want the map to lie flat so it's easier for us to see. Any more bullshit? Can you look at me when you speak? Before he knows it, Zachary spun around and Suma grabs him by his collar. What's with that expression? Just speak your mind already. What's the point of holding back? He mumbles for a while before saying something comprehensible. Do you blame me for creating something like that? No, I don't blame anyone. I just blame myself. I blame myself for being alive. I see. Ouch. Suma lets go of Zachary before he can laugh, and he falls on his buttocks. Stop being so sentimental. I was indulging in your therapy session only because you were taking your time to sulk. Now you're getting me all schmaltzy. Just tell me where to blow up. Boss is still waiting for us. I don't care how you feel about your robot. It's threatening all of us right now. Their survival depends on us destroying that mechanoid. That's right, their survival. You've decided to stay. Do you want to watch your brother die? I don't know if Boss or Leon cares to live another day, but if you want to take care of your brother, take care of this first. Okay. Fine. Just look at page 3 of the blueprint and get an understanding of its structure. I'll elaborate on them after I take a look at your demolition plan. Alright. Suma throws a blueprint into Zachary's arms before turning around and grabbing one of Zachary's to study. And she misses Zachary muttering as he reads the composition of the explosion. How I feel. Why would I feel anything about it? My brother was hurt by that mechanoid after all. No one wants to destroy this thing more than me. No one. No one. He wanted to destroy it sooner. He could have destroyed it sooner. But why couldn't I do it? Zachary remembers the last time this machine was infected. He thought he had done his best and turned off the mechanoid's power and scanning function, but he did not expect the machine was still operating and carrying out its mission. That was one of his designs. The mechanoid can draw power from other sources so that it has backup power to continue its operation when it loses its main power supply. He even remembers how he gloated to his colleagues when he proposed this design. He also remembers clearly how he risked his life to shut down the mechanoid last time, only for it to survive with its power reserve and crush a dozen of his companions with its feet. He also remembered how he told the others everything about these designs. But he still has not worked out. How much energy a motionless mechanoid has gathered buried underneath the heated sand. Zachary, wake up! Distracted, Zachary finds Watanabe's face before him, as well as Watanabe's 2 hands. Zachary's face is once again sandwiched between Watanabe's hands. The scars on Watanabe from the battle with the corrupted Colossus smell like rust, and his palms feel rough on Zachary's cheeks. But Zachary cannot feel any pain this time. Zachary, you also looked like this the last time you saw the corrupted Colossus. Watanabe's tone is so low that he is almost inaudible against the noise the corrupted Colossus makes. Zachary, however, can hear his words clearly, as if they are pierced into his mind. You're scared. You're sorry. You're thinking about what happened last time and how you failed. Boss, You're right. That thing is terrifying. We're all afraid. You're its maker. You're also afraid that you're responsible for every life it hurts and takes. But you have to remember that this is not your fault. Without the punishing virus, the machine would have been your pride. Pride? Me? Yes, you, Zachary. An engineering genius of tomorrow. I've heard the people from Cosmos Industries mention your name. That was something you were proud of. And now you have another chance to achieve something you can be proud of. Save our teammates in both of our camps. You might have failed in the past and missed the chance to save someone you cared about, but what you have now is another opportunity and us. You still have a chance to protect that person, and all of us. This can be your pride. Zachary bends down and crouches, the cold sweat on his forehead dripping onto the sand. Then he shakes his head and picks up the blueprint he dropped on the ground. Right. I won't waste this chance. Engineering team, this is Zachary. I need you to coordinate with the demolition team to execute an emergency rescue mission. Despite the numerous hits to his core, the heavy colossus is still slowly advancing. Every small step it makes raises a storm of stones, dispersing the soldiers that are attacking and drawing its attention. Behind the colossus, Suma crawls slowly underneath a shower of stone. This is Suma reporting. The distraction is working. The corrupted colossus is being drawn back to our planned route for now. I've arrived at the camp to rescue the remaining person. What are you staying here for? Get going. No one has time for your crap. Suma crosses a large field to tear away a tent damaged in the colossus's path, revealing a shivering young man underneath. She tries to pull him away, but his body seems to have taken root, not moving an inch. He keeps his eyes on the colossus corrupted that is treading nearby and watches his old camp crumble to pieces. You're the lieutenant from Humanity Corp, aren't you? What is so precious here that you can't look away? I can't go. Everything I have. The photos I took with my family, the trinkets my brothers gave me, all of them were destroyed by that thing. They're all gone now. I'm the only one left. What else do I even live for? I'd rather just... The lieutenant stares at the approaching colossus, his gaze misty. Suma lets go of his arms, allowing them to fall to his sides. Yeah, isn't it nice? Get it over with and you get to see your family again. Although no one here is going to remember your family if you're gone. You told me you loved the beach and the parks, and your family worked multiple jobs to afford a trip to Venus Splash Park on your birthday. You hadn't forgotten the shark spear you saw, the photos your family took, and the New Year's you've spent together. There won't be anyone to remember any of that if you're gone. Will you pay that price to die alone? The lieutenant is silent. Eventually, he raises his trembling arms again. This time, he holds Suma's hands. Good. Now get up and run. The big guy is going to squash us. This is Suma. Personnel rescued. Where should we go? Copy. A rescue vehicle is coming for you in your 3 o'clock direction. Another vehicle on distraction duty is coming from your 9 o'clock. Get out of there ASAP. Get out of here? We're too late. We're too close to the detonation location. The corrupted will trigger the bomb. Desperate times. The big one is coming. Hold on, kid. The what? Before the lieutenant understands what is happening, Suma has already pushed his head into the sand before hunkering down herself. Right then, a massive shockwave hits them from behind, pressing them deep into the desert sand. The explosion feels like it has buried the whole world. When the dust settles, there's nothing but silence. Zachary was right. This is a tough opponent to deal with. I remember the shield could be neutralized. Initiating communication. Suma here. I have talked to Zachary about how to break the shield. Explosives have been set up on the evacuation route. If I detonate them from underground, they should be able to break its shield. Well done. Let's go with Plan B. I will guide the target to the route, and you will decide when to blow it up. Its shield may regenerate multiple times. Keep monitoring. Roger. Now. Detonation successful. The shield has disappeared. The shield has regenerated. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. It's the second time now. The shield is gone. Attack now. One more time and it's dead. We're at the final detonation point. Copy. Neutralize the corrupted Colossus now. Target is highly damaged and close to ceasing activity. Seems it still has some energy left. Shall we keep attacking? No, the Corrupted's actions are out of control. There's a higher risk if we approach it. Just let its energy run out. The majority of us have already evacuated to a safe area. Tell the distraction team to continue with their mission. Alright, we're about to wrap up the mission. Good work, everyone. Let's evacuate. The sun is always blinding in the desert. Even the reflections from the metal shards in the sand are bright enough to get people covering their eyes. And when it shines on the remnants of destroyed livelihoods, the cruel display is not a sight to behold. Away from the debris, some people are clothed in robes only. They would have been hiding somewhere shaded on a normal day. But the sun is the least of their problems right now. Their gazes focus on one person and one person only. He stands on a slightly elevated dune, his expression composed and his voice calm. Nice to meet you all, good people of Humanity Corp. You probably know me from one of our previous dealings, so let's skip the introduction. Our camps worked together to defeat all the enemies in the earlier corrupted attack, and successfully resolved this crisis. It was fortunate that we haven't suffered a terrible loss, but you lost your home in the process. For now. I believe that if our camps work together, it won't take long for us to rebuild your camp. Because we all know that the resources you need to survive are stored in other warehouses, and you only keep your daily supplies in your camp. That's a very smart thing to do. You have my praise. Don't worry about the corrupted destroying or contaminating your resources either. We've sent our people to secure them. Watanabe's words have not inspired any confidence. The commotion in the crowd clearly expressed their discomfort. Secure is just another word for seize. Years of resources that they have gathered are now Watanabe's possession. I hope this operation will be the catalyst for a deeper partnership between us. As we said, our camp wants to work with you and build a new base of operation. Easy for you to say. The people are protesting before Watanabe can finish. We have so many mouths to feed. Even with our resources, we still need to strictly ration our food to make sure everyone survives. Work with us? More like steal from us. I understand your worry. After all, you have been pillaged before and our camp is constantly lacking food. But taking from our teammates will only use up all our resources eventually, no matter how abundant they are. Which is why we need to work together to restore our past food production. Now allow me to introduce one of our new friends. This is Teresa, an engineer officer previously employed by Easton Group. She was quite established in the research of compact ration production. Me. A few sighs later, Teresa makes her way to Watanabe fumblingly with a cane in her hand. No need to bother with the titles. We've learned from our recent trades that your camp has gathered many technicians with expertise in food production. Between them holds the key to mass-producing food. Meanwhile, our camp holds the technology to store and distribute food, which gave us the means to be self-sufficient to a certain extent. But neither is enough. Our technologies are incomplete without the other. Restoring them, however, isn't quick and easy, just like establishing trust. We estimate that the recovery of this technology is going to take a long time. The food processing plants infected by the punishing virus will no longer feed us as they did. If all we do is store away the rations from the Golden Age, we will run out of food eventually. Then, Watanabe pauses for a second, but no one interrupts him. Everyone here has more or less thought about this since the day they became a scavenger. Watanabe takes a deep breath. When he was still a soldier, a friend in the army who loved history once told him what happened to the people suffering from famine. Some, in the end, committed cannibalism. That friend eventually died from starvation after being trapped in a camp for half a month during the Great Evacuation, surrounded by corrupted with no way out. When Watanabe arrived as part of a rescue team to save those surviving members, he almost threw up upon seeing his friend's incomplete body. Watanabe shakes his head and casts the past out of his mind before taking another deep breath again. We are seeking your partnership to avoid that future. The technology Teresa holds is the key to the survival of everyone here. It can be the foundation that sustains more lives in the future. Let me stress that we are not asking for your compliance. We're looking for a partnership. All who stay here, whoever they are, will be supplied with basic needs, and they are expected to contribute to the camp. They could be a king sitting on a mountain of gold, or a scavenger struggling to live to see the next sunrise. Everyone will be given what they need to survive. Rations, greens, things we could just pluck from processing plants must now be painstakingly produced. I know the reason Humanity Corp set up camp here in the middle of the desert was that this was close to an old factory. If we form this partnership, we can begin to restore the soil and the laboratories the corrupted destroyed. We can start recovering lost technology and fill the belly of every single one of us. One step at a time, we can build a home on Earth again. May I say a few words? Teresa's voice is quiet but determined. Watanabe moves aside and nods, helping her up to the top of the dune. Yes, Watanabe was right. I was in charge of the production line of Easton Group's compact ration. I have a fairly comprehensive understanding of the whole technology. But the truth is, I'm afraid to let other people know about this. I'm afraid of their expectations. I'm scared that they'd expect me to do something I'm not capable of doing. Every time I told people about my past, every camp that took me in treated me like their savior. They called me Demeter, but I was just a technician. Without a proper laboratory and support from engineers, the machines that could turn bark into food and the vegetables that could grow overnight were just theories in my head. I couldn't turn them into reality. And so, they were disappointed and treated me as a liar who tricked them for food. I was cast out multiple times. Even now, I don't dare to make any promises. I will be honest with you. I don't know if this technology will come to fruition even with enough time and support. But I'm willing to try. I'll do my best. Because I want to live. I want my child to live. When the mutineers chased me away from the Babylonia shelter, I decided that I must do this. Why would you guys trust him? Someone in the crowd protests again. Watanabe looks around but fails to discover where the voice came from. Warren, stop it. But a mother knows her child best. Following Teresa's gaze, Watanabe also finds Warren among the crowd. He is trying to stand out as he shouts toward the dune. What makes you guys think you can trust him? He's a construct from Babylonia. Who knows why he ended up on Earth? Maybe he'll take the technology back to Babylonia once we restore it. He'll take the army and our food away too. Why would you trust him? How do you know he won't betray this place? How do you know he won't betray himself? Warren, now's not the time. Because I can't. Watanabe takes a step forward and leaps. When the dust clears, Watanabe is crouching before Warren, looking into his eyes at the same level. Everyone here has a reason to keep going. Watanabe sounds as calm as he usually does on the battlefield. He does not sound like an overbearing or patronizing adult, treating the boy before him as his equal. Do you know what the good folks behind me did? Some of them gave up their ticket to Babylonia for their loved ones. To keep their unconscious family alive, they work and fight every day to gain the extra supplies they need. Brother! Oh, Zachary? Shouldn't you be heading for the ship to Babylonia? Did you forget something? No, I wasn't chosen. They said my engineering skill wasn't useful up there anymore before they threw me off the ship. So, I guess I need to stick with you for a little bit longer, brother. Is that so? Can I? Of course you can. We're blood brothers. I've been taking care of you since the outbreak the same way I did when you grew up anyway. Stick with me and I'll make sure you have food on your plate every night. You're smiling, brother. Come on, I told you to stop laughing like that. Never mind. Today's not the day. I got some extra canned food earlier. Let's eat well tonight. Consider it consolation for not reaching Babylonia today. Okay, Thanks, brother. Brother! Brother! Ah! What the hell are you doing? Get back here! That giant mechanoid is infected. We can barely contain it. I know! I designed it! It killed my brother! It crushed him! Calm down. That soldier was attacked on quicksand. He may still be alive. Did you say you designed it? Good. Tell me his weaknesses. I'll take it down. Listen, you're going to run into more similar infected machines in the future. They're going to take a lot of lives. And you can save them with your knowledge. I don't know who that soldier is to you, but your expression tells me that you feel like you are holding him back. But if you save him now, you can at least proudly declare to him that you're the one who saves him with your knowledge. You can prove to him that you aren't holding him back. Alright, I'll do it. Some people have no one left, and they're willing to die for others at any moment. Still, they keep going on in the memories of the loved ones they've lost. I've seen people who want to die. I've never seen someone who wants to die work so hard to stay alive. Anyone who's joining a group has the desire to live at the very least. Those who don't have long fallen by the side of the road. But there has never been someone like you who eats and sleeps like everyone else, but throws caution to the wind when there's danger. It's none of your business. That's just what my life is worth. Just send me next time if you have another suicide mission. Feel free to leave me behind if you don't have enough food to feed all the mouths. I'd love to take down a few more corrupted on my way to hell, though. I'm only following you folks to make sure no one else ends up like the miserable person I am. Is that so? I remember you. You're the demolitionist we rescued from the mechanoid factory, aren't you? Your family was killed in that incident. There's no need to rub salt in the wound, Captain Obvious. Save your breath if you're planning to lecture me with your inspirational speech. Everyone dies. No need to get all schmaltzy about it. Nah, that's your right. Sorry? Right? You can see your family again if you die. I understand why that would be preferable. On the other hand, no one here will remember your family if you're gone. Didn't you talk about how much you like ocean life and the sea in the camp? You always asked your family to take you to the Copperfield Aquarium, and they only did it after you scored 100 in your exams a few times. You even saw Copperfield that day and were moved by his vision. You said you would have been a zoologist if it weren't for the outbreak. Your family supported you and took you to all kinds of zoos, taking photos for all your visits. It's your choice to reunite with your family, but no one's going to remember any of this when you're gone. Will you pay that price to die alone? And your mother. She keeps going despite everything she's been through just to see your father again. That's about it. I can't blame Babylonia. Who could have guessed that my cutting-edge technology would become obsolete so quickly? I'm just glad my husband made it to Babylonia with his agricultural engineering research. Abandoned us? No. I never thought of it that way. Look at the world we live in. All that matters is he lives. But I still want to see him again. I still miss his voice, his face. I want to talk to him and ask him how he's doing. Is he working overnight the way he did? Is he taking care of himself? Has he made every day count? That would be enough. I don't ask for much. I just want to know how he is. I know it's a pipe dream. Warren and I can barely have a warm meal nowadays. How would we even? Is that so? Is that enough for you? Have you imagined surviving long enough to meet your husband again? Perhaps you could even use your technology to save more people. People like your son. Look, everyone here has a reason to not give in. The moment I suggest surrendering to Babylonia, no, the moment I reveal even the slightest hint of compliance, everyone here who has fought so hard to keep going will not hesitate to take me down. What about you? What keeps you going? How long will you last if there's nothing to sustain you? I'm sorry, son. This isn't the golden age. We've seen enough blood and deaths on our way to where we are. Perhaps you're right. Don't relent then. Do not give in until you can survive and find the thing that keeps you going. Before that, however, you have to first defeat your hunger. Waren's expressionless face is as impassive as ever. But Watanabe can see him clenching his fists before letting go. I understand. I'm sorry for questioning you like that. I'm glad you understand. Well then, Watanabe stands up and raises his voice. If there's anyone who thinks differently, like this boy here, feel free to voice your thoughts. I will talk to every one of you, no matter how many of you there are. The tall guy there is Barley. You worked for the world government and became a lieutenant here after a power struggle. Leia there grew up in the desert. You didn't know about the outside world until the outbreak. And Chelsea, one by one, Watanabe recounts everyone's story and their journey to this place aloud. You've come here to live, to die, or to accomplish something you desire. Whatever your reason is, I want you to be one of us. My teammates behind me also came together for different reasons, but we shared the same goal, to build our own home on this planet away from Babylonia. We fight against the punishing virus for the survival of humankind. Therefore, we need more teammates. You can leave and follow your heart like that boy or bury your desire to live. But if you join us, we will do our best to safeguard every base. After the destruction of the corrupted Colossus, the remnant of the damaged camp is left where it was. The tattered tents are beyond repair, the flattened pots and weapons no longer usable. They were once the tools people relied on to survive, but now they lie in the sand, waiting for the shifting dunes to bury them. But sand has already covered them before that day arrives. A boy squats down and skillfully digs up sand with his shovel before throwing it aside as if he is searching for something underground. Waren. Hearing Watanabe, Waren answers without stopping shoveling. What is it? I'm here to apologize. I was being unfair back then. Oh, alright. Waren continues to dig after answering. Watanabe stands beside him, patiently waiting. Before long, Waren gets impatient and speaks first. Aren't you going to ask me why I'm still here when everyone else has gathered at your camp? Wasn't planning to. I'm sure you have your reasons. You're not like other adults. At least you're more honest. Thanks. Are you willing to be more honest with me then, Waren? That's a crafty way to put it. I've heard what the doctor said. You want me to dig up more herbs, right? Herbs that are hard to find. Herbs that help with afflictions. Herbs that are nutritious ingredients. Herbs that do this. Herbs that do that. I was talking about your father. Waren freezes. Back there, you asked them how they knew I wouldn't betray myself. There was an adult who betrayed you and himself, wasn't there? What makes you say so? You speak like you know me. When I know nothing about you? Everyone has a past or secrets no one knows about. I apologize if I guessed wrong. I just don't want you to keep crying yourself to sleep every night because of your secret. I don't. Dad? Dad, what's happening out there? I'm scared. It's okay. Everything's okay, Waren. Dad's here. I will protect you. Here, let me stay with you. Just hold me when you sleep if you're afraid. Say something. You've been drinking alone since you received the notice from Babylonia. You're gonna ruin your body like that. You got chosen, didn't you? I know what's on your mind after all these years together. It's okay. You can go. Don't worry about your son. I mean it. Don't worry about us. They have a shelter for the scientists remaining on the surface. We'll have somewhere to stay. Don't worry. Where are you going, Dad? That's enough, Warren. Stop pulling your father's shirt. Dad is going to be away for a while. Isn't he staying with us? No. We'll meet again. We'll meet again one day. The wind carries a cloud of sand, blowing past Watanabe and Warren. The grit stings the boy's eyes and cheeks. You're doing your best. You probably feel angry and hurt about your father's departure, but you probably also look forward to seeing him again, don't you? That is how you and your mother can support each other and survive until now. Warren bites his lips and stays silent until Watanabe takes out a handful of herbs. This is what you were talking about. It's called Dahurian Angelica. Teresa was allergic to Pixie-Danthera barbellata, but it's one of the main sources of calories in the desert. And you probably have learned a few things about botany from your father, and know that Dahurian Angelica can prevent her allergic reactions. You always follow the foraging team around until your shoes are all worn down, because you're trying to forage for this herb, aren't you? All I know is Mom feels better after eating some of this herb. I just want her to sleep well. She could barely sleep in the camps we stayed in previously, and when she did, she would have terrible nightmares. Years of microcirculatory dysfunction caused by the allergy and lack of proper rest would be too much for any adult. But your mother continues to endure and survive. You are the reason why she has made it this far. You searched for a remedy for her. You looked out for her. And you even dared to challenge a leader of a camp for her. Your ways are very direct, but you are brave, Warren. Good job. The boy covers his eyes. Lowering his head, he seems to be hiding his face from everyone else. By the way, it's quite sunny today, isn't it? It's easy to get dehydrated. Watanabe suddenly takes off his jacket and covers Warren's face with it. Warren immediately flings his arms around, trying to take the coat off, but Watanabe just holds him and makes sure he does not fall. The sun is so bright in the desert that you might not want to shine a light on the feelings you hide inside you. But now that you have something covering you, you don't have to hide anymore. Watanabe can hear quiet sobbing coming from within his coat, the blubbering intermittent but non-stop, as if years of tears need to be silently released. Watanabe waits silently for a long time. He makes no attempt to comfort Warren, nor does he make any promise. He just puts his hand above Warren's head over the coat and waits for the sobbing to slowly end. It takes Warren a few minutes to finish crying. Watanabe removes his coat, and there is no trace of tears in Warren's eyes, just faint water stains. Enough time away from the sun, I assume? Yeah. Then you might want to tell your mother how you feel later. What? How can I? That's not my suggestion. A friend named Zachary recommended it. Hey, come over here. Right. Coming. Laughing sheepishly, a soldier steps out from the shadow of the armored car. The weather's pretty good today, right, buddy? Don't slouch before children. Stand straight. Be a role model. Right. Zachary rubs his face and collects himself upon Watanabe's remark, finally looking a little serious. A role model. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just... Look, buddy, I just want to say a few words. You heard the boss earlier. I was the one who's been working for the extra supplies. It's been so long since my brother fell unconscious. There are so many things I want to say that he will never hear. You see, my brother took care of me in the past, so I was embarrassed to say anything. Now that I've been taking care of him for a few years, I've realized so much. but I can't tell him how I feel anymore. Suma was telling me that there are things you gotta say when the other person is still alive, right? Wait, no, that's not right. My brother's not dead, so don't just say it while the other person is still alive. Say it when you're still together, when you still have the chance to say it. Hearing the uncertainty in Zachary's voice, Watanabe elaborates. Zachary told me he wants to tell his brother that he's no longer holding him back, and they can now support each other. When that happens, Zachary's nervous laughter will stop and it can be replaced with a proud smile. I want to see that smile on everyone's face. This camp only survives if everyone stays together and does what they do best. And that includes you. You're not here because of your mother's technology. Your understanding and insight into wild plants is a rare talent. It's an incredibly useful gift, no matter where it comes from. With your gift, you should be telling your mother how you feel with pride. You should tell her that you're a grown-up now, and that you're no longer holding her back. We can all lose our loved ones in the blink of an eye. Even when the world wasn't as terrible, people could still be far apart. If your mother lost you one day, she might be tormented by regrets and grief as she tried to find you, not knowing how you felt. So, tell her when you're still together. Never hide how you feel. Right, that's right. What the boss said. I understand. Wherein nods, half understanding what Watanabe said. Hey, where did you go, Zachary? Come over here and help. Zachary shivers upon hearing Suma call his name. Zachary quickly runs off. Wherein returns the coat on his head to Watanabe and bows before heading back to the camp. They both have someone they are looking for. Finally by himself, Watanabe relaxes and stretches his shoulders. The midday sun has cooled down a little. The wind brings up another cloud of sand, blowing past Watanabe and moving his sleeves. Watanabe takes a step forward, pondering. Food, technology, military. We've finally taken the first step to tackling all these problems. Being able to solve our food crisis will be a crucial step. To continue its development, we will need to find our next partner. We also need to invest in engineering to restore its optimal environment. Alright, one step at a time, like we always do. We'll keep going until the day we can thrive on this barren planet. Then, we will remember everyone who has walked with us. We'll also need to give our group a name then. The Remembered. Doesn't sound right? Watanabe slows down. What should we call ourselves? Then he stops. That's it.